All right, welcome everybody. Can you hear me, see me? If so, comment in the chat if you can see me and hear me. Let me know if you're with me. There's a little bit of delay between the chat responses and my audio. I don't know how long of a delay it is, but cool. I'm already seeing responses, so it's not too big of a delay. So cool. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to share this with you. Are the first audience besides my clients that are going to get to see this, and it's really cool. So let's get into this. So we've got a little group here. This is, and let me see, unfocused screen. All right, so you can see me. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason. I run DoorGrow. I have been coaching and consulting property management companies for over a decade. I've helped a lot of people at a lot of doors and grow their businesses. And I love getting to do what I do. So I'll just introduce myself real quick, qualify myself real quick. I've helped thousands of property management companies. I've talked to many, and I've gotten to see inside their businesses now, and I'm really good at growing property management companies, but I've never managed a rental property in my life. So I am not a property manager. And somehow that has proven to be my secret advantage to some degree. I'm also a little bit weird. So I spend a lot of money on coaches and mentors. My personal mission in life and why is to inspire those, inspire is to inspire others to love true principles. That's my personal mission statement. So I love what that means is I love learning what works and sharing with other people. That's just fun for me. So I'm going to be sharing with you some cool stuff today. I wanted to mix in a lot of stuff, but Kyle, my head of sales and marketing, he's like, you need to keep this shorter. So I'm going to try and keep this as tight as possible. So I'm not going to cover all of my 7 frameworks that I usually do on our sales webinars that give a ton of value. I will cover some of the key ones, and we're going to keep this tight because we're going to focus just on our new program that is super awesome. So, all right, if you have questions at any time, throw them in the chat. I can see what you guys are typing while I'm doing this. I'm going to be drawing on my iPad because people seem to absorb content a lot better when I'm drawing for some reason. I have a lot less questions when I do that. So go ahead and comment in the chat. Let me know, what are you hoping to do with your business? Just let me know. I'm curious what you would hope to get out of today's, webinar or this recording. Let me know for those that are here live. And if you're not here live, you can still comment in the chat if you're watching this on Crowdcast. All right. So let's get into this. So let me see if I can make the screen bigger here. All right. And there we go. Click to close this message. All right, there we go. So today what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about built to sell. So this idea of built to sell, in the next 3 to 5 years, so that's the idea. In the next 3 to 5 years, I would love for you to have a business that you could sell. And I'll talk about why, even if you don't want to sell, that's important. And so in the next 3 to 5 years, so that you can have a 7-figure exit. For those that don't want to count zeros, that means like $1 million plus, right? So that's the idea. If you want to, but the secret I'm going to share with you today is that if you build your business so that you can sell it, and it's really giving you what you want out of life, which we'll talk about what those ingredients are, then you probably will not want to, right? Why kill the golden goose that lays the golden egg? Especially if that golden egg isn't just money, it's giving you what you want out of life. And right now, your business may not be giving you what you really want out of life. And so that's one of the things I love to help clients fix. So we're going to talk also about a portion of our Built to Sell program that takes less than 3 to 5 years. It's our 90-day rapid revamp. So I told you a little bit about DoorGrow. So DoorGrow, we've been doing this for over a decade. We have 100 clients in our mastermind right now. As of today, we hit 100. We've got, and it's steadily growing. We have helped rebrand hundreds of property management companies, cleaning up that leak that was costing them maybe 50% attrition in their lead flow that they couldn't even see. I'll explain that later. We've helped do tons of websites, hundreds and hundreds of websites. We've got people using reputation tools that we have, our Gather Kudos system, and lots of other stuff. There's lots of stuff we do to help property managers. We just, to give you a little bit of history, and, before I get into that, let's talk about who this is for. So this training's just so you don't waste, I don't want to waste anybody's time. So who's this for? If you're not a third party property management company, this is not for you. This is for third party property managers, like people that want to manage other people's rental properties and get paid to do it. So this is not, I could probably coach just about any business because the things you're going to learn in this and that we focus on probably could apply to any business, but this is going to be for property management businesses. More specifically, we generally focus on the long-term rental companies. Some of our clients do short-term. Rarely do clients do commercial, and that's a harder game to get into usually. And there's, some other types of management that exist that occasionally we come across or have, but the majority of our clients are third-party property management companies, long-term, and we work with business owners. So if you are like a BDM or some lackey on a team or somebody that's been assigned by your CEO to go and do some research on DoorGrow, you need to get the business owner to pay attention and watch this because it just puts you as basically in between a rock and a hard place. And those type of people tend to not be able to get the things accomplished they want to with their boss because the boss isn't clear on all this stuff that we're teaching, and it's weird sometimes and it's different. We're telling them to make uncomfortable changes and the boss says no. And then the boss gets upset that they're not getting some sort of result from DoorGrow, and because the boss doesn't realize they're actually causing the constraint, and then they blame that person, and that person doesn't want to lose their job, so they blame us. Right? That's how it always works out. So if you are that person, you are a team member and you do not own the property management business, this is not really for you. So I recommend that you get them to watch this replay. It'll be the same link that you're on right now. So this is not for owner operators. These are people that only manage their own rental properties. They generally don't care about getting more owners, and they just want more tenants. And that's not a problem most of our clients generally have, is getting tenants, or that we focus on solving. And then real estate, this is not for you if real estate is your primary focus. If real estate's your primary focus, focus is the number one currency. And we'll talk about the 5 currencies in a second, but it's the number one currency related to growth. And it's really difficult for us to help people that will not focus on this business and help it grow. It's probably a struggle or not working for you or not growing because of a lack of focus from you right now. So if you're not willing to commit to focusing on your property management business and making it a primary focus, then this is not for you. We don't really enjoy working with those clients. They're difficult to work with and they don't do what we tell them to do, and they don't have the time or bandwidth, and they're always assigning somebody else to try and do it for them. And property management is the ultimate gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. And we've helped some of our real estate clients that have brokerages on also as a secondary business. We've helped some of them double their real estate commissions in as little as a month by using acquisition strategies, because real estate is not the best gateway drug. Property management is a better gateway drug to relationships and real estate deals, actually. Most people are trying to avoid brokerages. They're trying to for sell by owner. They're trying to avoid real estate agents, and they're trying to search them less online. But if you have relationships of trust, which property management allows you to create, you will get lots of real estate deals on the back end. So, and this is, I had mentioned before, this is not for employees that are here without the owner. But maybe you'll get excited about this and be able to sell that owner on watching this stuff. Cool. All right. So let me I'm going to share a little history lesson about DoorGrow. So originally we started out as a company called Open Potion. I still use that domain for my email address. And we did website design for lots of businesses. And I did a website for my brother, and he was a franchisee of Real Property Management. He has since left, and we helped him rebrand and get out of that situation. But we did a site for him, and then all of his fellow franchisees, some of the biggest ones, some of them with thousands of doors, wanted what he had, and we started doing sites for them. And then we started getting that gave us great backlinks on Google, and so we started ranking really well for property management website design, and we started getting property management business owners all over the US. And we have always been ahead of the curve on the website game when it comes to building sites that are really effective. Ironically, even though I believe we are the best property management web design agency on the planet, and I believe that we are absolutely hands down the world leader in property management as a property management branding and design agency for rebranding companies. We've rebranded hundreds of property management companies. I will tell you that you don't have to have a website in order to grow your business dramatically quickly, but it can help. All right. But we started doing websites, and then clients, I would ask lots of questions and get to know their business, because that's how you make a really effective website. And that eventually I started coaching them on things that they needed to do, because they wanted a website to get a result. They were hoping it would grow their business. And they had been lied to over and over again by marketers that they had to do all these internet marketing things, get to the top of Google in order to get business, which is a game I will get into that's really difficult to play. So we started getting them to the pay top of Google, which is pay-per-click Google ads. And we started doing that for clients. What we found was there were massive leaks. So we were selling websites and leads, basically pay-per-click on Google ads. And so I built a program, because we had a lot of people that would just cancel doing the marketing. They would just cancel doing this. They would stop, and we couldn't retain or keep them, because pay-per-click's a difficult game and they weren't ready for it. Most of them weren't even answering their freaking phones when we would send them a lead, and leads and deals are only good for maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes of them seeing your ad or calling you or clicking on the link. And we were tracking this. We were doing call tracking. We could see that people were not answering their phones. They were not responding and getting on top of these leads within the first 5-10 minutes. And so the conversion rate drops 80%. And this is really expensive. And you normally would have to spend about $1,000 a month just in ad spend, and then probably about the same amount to an agency. Maybe 500 if you get a really crappy agency that does cookie cutter stuff and they do the same ads for everybody else in your market, which is ridiculous because it's an auction, right? And so who are they bidding up the most? Nobody. They're trying to keep everybody the same so they can just squeeze money out of all of you. I won't mention the company that does that a lot for the property management industry, but their brand is orange, and I actually designed their logo and consulted them back in the day on some of these pieces. In fact, they were kind of my first client for this initial program called the Seed Program. So the Seed Program I developed because we were losing clients and they weren't ready for leads. They didn't know how to deal with colder leads. And I'll explain the difference between cold or warm leads here in a little bit. And if you stay tuned, you're going to learn a lot of stuff. I'm going to save you a ton of money, not wasting money with marketers. And if that's exciting to you, comment hell yes in the chat. I'm going to share with you how you can grow your business without spending a dime on advertising. Okay. So comment in the chat if that sounds interesting to you and you're going to stick around. I'll see if you're all still with me. All right. So I created this Seed Program. And the idea behind the Seed Program was I was going to shore up all the leaks that exist in their sales pipeline. And then we came out with version 2, and then we came out version 3. So by Seed 4, we were charging 10. Whoops. I thought I was highlighting. We were charging 10 grand for this program. It was a 6-month program, but it took a lot of time, and clients were sort of self-pacing it, and we couldn't get them. It was just really difficult to get clients results. So we thought, well, everybody moves at a different pace. So let's just turn this into a mastermind. So we then created the mastermind, which is what we've had up until recently, up until this new program. And people would just pay monthly, basically like a subscription. And they would spend thousands with us. It's not cheap to work with us by any means. But people would join the mastermind and then they would move kind of at their own pace. And we have clients getting great results. But this new program is, which I'll explain to you, is the culmination of everything we've learned through these variations of our seed programs and this mastermind, and combining the best elements of all of this. So that's a little history and background. So to get into this, I want you to understand some currencies here. So there are 5 currencies you can invest. And so, Bob, you say your screen's blank. Can everybody else see what I'm drawing? See what I'm doing? Comment yes if you can see what I'm doing. So we've got yes. Okay, cool. Sorry, Bob. Try loading it in Chrome or a different browser or restarting. So we've got time, energy, energy, focus, cash, right? Which is the one currency we tend to focus a lot on, and then effort or work, right? And so these are 5 currencies you have to invest. Usually you have to invest all of these in order in your business, right? It takes all of these, but each of these are a limited resource. And I'm sure you can, just by looking at these, you can figure out, like, if I dedicate more focus to something, then I probably don't have to invest as much effort generally, right? Because there's more focus. But if I'm going to decrease the focus and decrease the time and I want a similar result, I have to invest a lot more effort during that short period of time. It's like sprinting, right? To get farther. The most important currency related to growth is actually focus. Focus is the most important currency related to growth. It's usually the most diluted in entrepreneurs. They have multiple businesses. They try premature expanding into multiple markets. In property management, they try doing multiple niches, like commercial, associations, storage units, like whatever, right? Residential, small multi, big multi, et cetera, right? Condos, et cetera. So the challenge is, the greater the focus you have, the faster you'll be able to grow. If you have more cash, you can decrease your time because you can hire staff and team members. And if you're doing things that steal your energy, then your business could be very draining, right? So you have these 5 currencies to invest. Now, I want to kind of disrupt your mindset about the goal of a business. So a lot of you think, man, like, the goal of my business is to make me money, right? There's a better goal than money, and it's the reason you want money. So comment in the chat why you want money. What are you hoping money will give you? And let's see if some of these reasons pop up. Yes, freedom. Great job. All right. Any other things that you want from what you're doing in your life and in your day-to-day, right? You're spending your life. You are giving up your life. The most important currency, really, the scarcest one, is time. That's the most important. It's the scarcest one. You're going to die. It's inevitable, right? That's a limited resource. If you have more money, you can buy other people's time, and so you can not spend as much focus, but you can't buy more time generally. Maybe if you're a little bit more healthy, you can eke out a few more years on your life. But in general, we're all going to die, right? And we don't know how long that's going to be. So yeah. So if you're going to be giving up your life and trading it for your business and trading it for what you're doing, what do you want in exchange? Well, at the top of my list is fulfillment. I can't remember if there's 2 L's before them, but anyway, fulfillment. Let's see, fulfillment. I'm asking Siri here. Let's see if I can spell it right. Fulfillment. Oh yeah, it's 2 L's. All right, cool. All right, it would have bothered me. All right, so cool. Fulfillment, freedom, contribution. So once we have fulfillment and freedom, fulfillment means you're enjoying your day-to-day. I don't know if a lot of property managers don't enjoy their day-to-day. There's a lot that don't, and you should. Now, generally, as our business grows and grows and we are making more and more money, most entrepreneurs, the default is they have less fulfillment and they have less freedom in their day-to-day. They have more and more they're heaping and loading onto themselves. And then entrepreneurs, when they do achieve fulfillment and freedom, they want to make a difference in the world. They want to feel like they're making a difference. So they want a sense of contribution. And then the fourth reason for having a business or for starting a business, this business should be the ultimate vehicle to give you fulfillment, freedom, contribution, is support, right? You don't want to do everything yourself in your business, right? So the ultimate business is not a business where you optimize everything so you can do everything yourself. That means you're wearing every hat and you're going to be miserable. I know lots of entrepreneurs in this industry that try to do that. They think that's the goal. I'm just going to keep it small. I'm going to handle like 100, 200 units. I'm going to do everything myself. And they are secretly miserable because you are a unique personality type that probably is only good at and really loves and enjoys certain things and wearing certain hats. The ultimate goal of a business is to have the ultimate level of support. That's why we build a business and build a team. So we want more of that. But most business owners add more and more team members and they do it the wrong way. And they feel like they are trying to micromanage their team, tell them what to do. And they're getting constant questions and constant interruptions. And they have less fulfillment and less freedom in their day, which means you're doing it incorrectly. And then there's the fifth reason, I call it. And this is what everybody else, it's not an entrepreneur that doesn't go start businesses. This is what they want. They want this more than those first four things. Everybody wants these four things, right? But most people on the planet that are not entrepreneurs, and that's the majority of people on the planet, more than the entrepreneurs. This is why you feel weird out in the marketplace. This is why you keep to yourself sometimes about stuff. This is why you're private. This is why you might be the only person walking around not wearing a mask during the pandemic, is because most people value safety and certainty more than fulfillment, freedom, contribution, and support. They value safety and certainty more than freedom, more than freedom. During the pandemic, I walked around Costco and I was not wearing a mask. And other people that I saw weren't wearing a mask, I just asked them, and I'm in Texas. I asked them, like, do you have a business? Are you a business owner? And they all were saying yes. It was just really cool, a little experiment. So that isn't freedom, dude. Sherry, we can disagree, but my feeling is that freedom is more important than safety and certainty, right? So responsibility comes with freedom. Okay, cool. So I believe that safety and certainty is more, for some people, it is more important. Like some people would rather give up freedoms, rather give up the ability to go places, rather give up the ability to travel. And that's cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And they feel like other people are affecting negatively their freedoms and their things, right? But those people generally have a different priority set. And it's important to understand this. It's important because those people are not wrong, Sherry. They're not wrong. Those people have a different priority set than I do, right? And then a lot of entrepreneurs that I know. And the challenge then is this. It's important to know this because this is what you sell. This is what people want to buy, is safety and certainty. They want to buy safety and certainty. And so that's what they're looking to get. Most property managers make the mistake of selling property management. Nobody wants to buy property management. What they really want to buy from you is peace of mind and safety and certainty. People don't wake up in the morning and go, man, I'm so excited to get a property manager today. Like that's what I want, is somebody to manage my property. What they really want is safety and certainty and peace of mind. And if you understand that, you'll be much more effective at sales. So let's talk about some of the leaks that exist in a business. So if we take a look at the leaks that exist in a business, so normally what you're going to do is you're going to go do something called marketing. And so marketing, and it's usually some form of advertising. And this usually looks like things like SEO, pay-per-click, content marketing, social media marketing, or pay per lead, like maybe allpropertymanagement.com or things like this. The challenge with all of these is, what do all of these have in common? They're all internet marketing. They're all internet marketing. And the internet is not always the best place to go to get business. And I won't go into detail about that, but these are typically colder leads. And I'll go into that here in just a minute. But they're investing, and these are really expensive strategies. So they'll go and invest all this money into this pipeline, and they have all these leaks. And what are they investing into the pipeline? Well, it doesn't just take cash. It also takes focus. It takes energy. It takes time, and it takes effort to implement these strategies. And that is what they're feeding through this pipeline, which would make sense. Any strategy could be somewhat effective if you didn't have a leaky pipeline. But what I've found in over the last decade is that most property management businesses have a lot of leaks in their pipeline. They have a lot of leaks in their pipeline. And so these are some of the leaks that exist in their pipeline. So the first leak, so here, let me, hold on real quick. Let me see if I can unfocus the screen and get this out of the way. All right. I need my notes over here. I just realized my screen share is covering my notes. All right. And stop mirroring and mirror it again. All right. Let's see if I can restart my screen share here. All right. There we go. Okay. And let me reshare my screen here so you can see it. All right. There we go. Okay, so let's get into some of these leaks. So these are some of the leaks. So if you're spending a bunch of money on ads or advertising or you're getting any business at all. So imagine that spigot right there is all the currencies that you're investing into the business, and you can turn it on full blast. And at the other end of the yard, this hose you've got running out there, you've got this little tree and this little plant, and this is your business. This is your business, and you want it to grow. And hopefully, you're hoping that it can bear fruit. Like you can get some fruit on this thing that you can use to feed yourself. And the eventual goal then would be that you're able to then reinvest what you're getting from the business back into this pipeline. It becomes this perpetual motion, money making machine, right? And you're just getting more and more out of it. It's like an ATM machine that you just put something magic stuff into, and even more magic stuff comes out, right? That's the goal of the business. The challenge is there's a bunch of leaks that exist in businesses. So some of the earliest leaks are reviews, right? So we'll call this perception reviews. Another leak that exists is your positioning. This is branding. And this could be, and the thing to realize is each thing could be costing you a 50% attrition at each stage. Branding, website, which is I'm using P words if you haven't noticed, is your presence and online presence. And then another big leak I've noticed, I have not yet had a client come to me with optimized pricing. Everybody's doing the same stuff, some sort of 10% flat fee or less, and percentage fee or some sort of flat fee. And so they don't have optimized or effective pricing, and they don't have a very effective pitch. A lot of times this is funny at this stage, most people say I have a 90% close rate. I close everybody. But when I ask them where they're getting their leads, most are in those situations often are warm leads or word of mouth, which even if you have bad breath, you're going to have a 90% close rate on, right? So with colder or more lukewarm leads, which they view as garbage, which in contrast they probably are, but they have a much lower close rate. So their pitch is weak. And then 7 priorities. This is one of the biggest leaks in a business. Operationally, this is time, basically. And I'll talk about that when we talk about the program. But each of these could be, did I miss one? I missed number 4. 4 was pricing. And 5 was product. And this is just having, a really good set of products and services and really understanding how to sell it effectively. But um, yeah, I'll talk about that later. All right. So each of these could have a 50% loss. And so if you imagine the fluid moving through this hose, which is money and or time or any of these currencies, there could be a significant loss at each stage. And so it just gets smaller and smaller. And this is why you may have a business that has not grown over the last year or two, or maybe even gotten smaller. Now, if your business is growing, you probably have some of these leaks pretty tight, or maybe you're just funneling a lot of opportunity through this hose. Either way. But this is the leaks that you see down here at the bottom, is, all these leaks of time, energy, focus, cash, effort. And so it takes way more of that than it should. So what was crazy is when we built our first seed program based on some of these major leaks, my goal was to get marketing clients. The program was so effective, even our first version, that when clients went through and did our seed program and shored up some of these leaks, they didn't want to do marketing with us. So the problem I was trying to solve, I actually made worse. So we had to pivot as a company because I was like, hey, we're onto something. This is cool. Let's just stop doing marketing and advertising and let's help clients shore up the leaks and find better strategies and focus more and pour more gasoline on the fire that's working. And that's how we started seed 2 and then on to seed 3 and seed 4 and our mastermind and now our built to sell and rapid revamp. Now, so this is the goal is we want to shore up all of the leaks. Now you can see it doesn't make sense to do marketing or put a lot into this pipeline if it's leaky. And I guarantee all of you have some significant leaks in your pipeline. I've yet to see any businesses that do not. And so if you shore up all these leaks, you have more flowing through because you have some flow if your business hasn't gone out of business yet. And just by doing these things, you could double the amount of business that you're getting on right now. It's happened over and over and over again for our clients just by dialing in some of the leakiest portions. Whatever is the biggest constraint is where the focus should be on the business. Most business owners spend most of their focus on their product, like their back end and taking care of clients, while lead gen and everything else coming through this pipeline is super weak. And that's a typical flaw that I see with clients. So let's talk about the different sources for this marketing for this right here. Let's talk about the different sources for this. And let's talk about that. So we've got cold leads versus warm leads. Not all leads are created equal. It's important to recognize, right? So what most marketers and advertisers will sell you is really just cold lead marketing or cold lead advertising. And so cold leads typically have a really low close rate. Like if you get a lead from APM, maybe even through SEO, or from some sort of online channel, usually the close rate is going to be pretty low. Like you could get 10 leads and only close one deal. Can happen. If you're really great at sales with cold leads, I typically will see maybe a 20% close rate. If you've tried cold lead marketing, go ahead and comment in the chat. Let me know if you've tried cold lead marketing, if you tried SEO or pay-per-click or content marketing or social media marketing, and let me know if it's worked well or not for you. I'm curious. If you're getting great results with any of those, I'm guessing you wouldn't probably be on this call, but maybe it's been working for you. So there's a 10% close rate. It's pretty typical. You'll see it costs thousands of dollars usually. So on pay-per-click, a typical acquisition channel would be made like a typical acquisition cost would be like $800. So if you could get a door for $800 using Google Ads, that would be a great strategy, right? So APM, they used to charge like what, Thomas? Like 50, 60 bucks a lead. I don't know what they charge now, maybe like 60, 80 in some markets, but they send it out to 5 different companies. And guess what they're using? They're using cold lead advertising in order to drive traffic now. APM used to have really good organic traffic, which is what that's went away when Google did some updates. And then that's why they sold to Buildium, right? And up to $100 a lead. And they're giving that lead to how many companies, Thomas? Like 4 or 5, unless you're in a market where there's less. Yeah, 3 to 5. Yeah. So that sucks, right? So what they're able to do then is, yeah, Dallas Fort Worth. Okay. So they'll take that. So they're spending money to get this lead. and then they're sending it to 3 to 5 companies. So they're making $300 to $500 a lead, and they're probably, I don't know what their margin is or markup on that is, but it may cost them a significant chunk of change to get each of those leads, maybe $100 to $200 for them to get that lead. And then they can resell it to through, some other companies like that. So some of these deals, because they're tire kickers and time wasters, a lot of times it takes a lot longer to get some of the business on. The typical sales cycle time is lengthier. And so the typical time you have to invest is a lot longer too. On average, with colder leads, I usually hear it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. I was conservative here, but they're investing. They might do 3, 4 calls with these people, and they're just wasting their time. So on average, per acquisition, you're spending maybe 3 to 6 hours. I put 2 to 3 here. Maybe you spend more, maybe you spend less. Now, with warm leads, we've got a really high close rate. Like if you get a referral from a real estate agent, or they come from online and you have a really great online review and they're like, hey, you're the best reviewed company. These could be warmer leads, right? You will have a really high close rate typically. If they're looking for property management and they're a warm lead referral to you, unless you have bad breath, you're probably going to get the deal, right? Everybody loves getting more of these. What if there was a way you could get lots more of those, right? And those, the strategies that we use in warm lead strategies typically cost nothing. They don't cost anything. They cost time. They do cost time, but they take less time. They actually take less time than it does, because if you get a cold lead, you have to spend a lot more time nurturing that lead to get it to be warm before it will close, which means it's hot, right? And the difference between cold and warm leads, just to be clear for those that might be confused, I don't understand this, is trust. Again, it goes back to that safety and certainty. Okay. It goes back to that safety and certainty. That's the difference between a cold and warm lead. And sales and deals happen at the speed of trust. So in order to close a deal, you have to move them this way. And it's a lot more work with a colder lead. With a warmer lead, there's already built in trust. A real estate agent they trust referred them to you, or Yelp, who they trust, sent them over to you, or whatever it might be, right? So, and it takes a lot less time for you to get these clients on. Like they're usually pretty ready to go. So, question I'll pose to those of you that are here: would you rather do some math in your head? If there's a 10% close rate versus 90% close rate, would you rather have 10 cold leads or 5 warm leads? Which would you rather have? See what people comment here, right? Which means you might get 4 of these on, or you might get 1. Maybe if you're really great, 2. Maybe even 3. But you're going to spend way more time. This takes a lot of time. If I gave you 10 cold leads, that could be a full-time job for somebody in a week to do the amount of work and follow-up to get one deal on. It could be that much work. And so that's not a sustainable growing model. Some of the numbers that our clients have stacked up and racked up in adding doors would be impossible no matter how much money they spend on cold lead marketing. Yeah, 5 warm. Yeah, me too. All right. So cool. Let's talk about now the other challenge with cold lead marketing is this is what all the big guns are already doing, right? So everybody knows probably the story of David and Goliath. So there's 2 versions here. One's more accurate and one's less accurate, right? But we've got David and 2 Davids here, and the one on the right has the same weapons as Goliath. He's lacking the armor, but let's just say he has armor too, right? He's got some shiny armor, and it looks great, right? So here's the thing. So we've got, and he's got maybe a helmet too, but I don't know. All right, so if you are doing the same stuff, which means you've got like SEO and PPC and content and social media and paper lead, right? You're doing all the same stuff. Well, this guy has a budget of probably 3 to 5 grand a month. And if you're a smaller property manager, your budget might be maybe 500 to 2K a month, right? It's hard to compete. And he already has a head start. I mean, look at this guy. He's huge. He's been around a lot longer, right? He's seasoned. He's been in business for maybe 20 years. He's already got the top spot on Google. How easy is it going to be to dethrone this guy? You would have to be spending more money than him, more fast, and have somehow better knowledge than they do at the game, or better people doing this stuff. And it's not going to happen generally, right? And so if you were to fight with this guy, guess who's going to get their ass kicked? It's going to be this guy, right? But this David, this, in the story, he had a hack. He's like, I'm not going to wear the armor. I don't need all that. That stuff's heavy. It's going to slow me down. I'm going to go, fight this dude. And he threw a rock and nailed the dude in the head. And he, like, with a slingshot, and killed the guy and walked over and chopped off his head, right? That's the story. So David had a hack. So if you want to win against your biggest competitors, you don't want to go play and fight the same game. You need a hack. And that's what we created with our initial seed program and our newer program, our Rapid Revamp, and that sort of thing. So let's talk a little bit about the Rapid Revamp. Now, what people would do coming into our mastermind, one of the challenges we had, to be honest, is that they had a really dull axe. We weren't shoring up all the leaks first. We were just giving them strategies at doors. And some clients were really doing great, but some would struggle because it's really difficult to chop down a tree with a dull axe, right? They had all these flaws in their business: bad branding, bad website. Some companies that are branded as real estate companies are losing out on 50% of the deals and leads they could be getting because they don't look like a specialist. So people don't pick them, and nobody ever comes to you and says, hey, I would have gone with you, but you look like a real estate company and I want a specialist that I'm going to trust my asset to, right? It's about trust. And so each of these leaks that we identified, to go back here, each of these leaks can be, pretty significant. And so by shoring up those leaks, so what we want to do in our Rapid Revamp program, this 90-day program, so it's basically 3 months. The first half of this, what we really want to do is we want to first shore up the leaks. So we're going to focus on just cleaning up all the leaks. Here is going to be kind of the goal. Start focusing on the leaks because we're going to sharpen the axe. And so just like Abraham Lincoln says here, if you gave me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe, because this guy was smart, right? So because chopping down a tree with a dull axe would take a long time. It would take a really long time. It's hard to chop down a tree with an axe, but if you have a very sharp axe, right, then it's going to be a lot easier. And then we'll spend the second half of this doing acquisition strategies. So we're going to start to blend in the acquisition strategies because you'll have a sharper axe. So we're going to dial things in. And so this is going to be the fastest way we know for people to get results instead of doing maybe the reverse. And so this program, it's just so you can see how this fits in over the next 3 to 5 years. If you want to build a business that's built to sell and have a 7-figure exit, or have a business that you have the option to not sell, right? Because the ultimate freedom in business is to have a business that you could sell, but that you want to keep, because it's giving you those 4 reasons, right? It's giving you fulfillment and freedom, not just money. And so why would you sell it unless you just wanted to have money to go get more fulfillment and freedom, right? But for some people, fulfillment is how they have their business. That's what their business gives them. I'm in a lot of high level masterminds. I spend a lot of money to work with coaches and mentors, and I've seen people have 100-figure exits. $100 million exits from businesses, and they told me that they were bored, and so they went and started another business. They said it's not all it's cracked up to be to just sit on the beach and sip martinis. That sounds nice maybe for a week or two, but after that, entrepreneurs, we're momentum-based creatures and beings. We want something to do. We want to contribute. We want to make a difference. We want the 4 reasons. And so giving up your business sometimes takes that away from you. Usually people want to retire because they're trying to escape a business they don't enjoy. What if you could enjoy your business, right? So what we're going to do is the first portion, we're going to do this rapid revamp. And, I showed you, how we'll do sort of this. And then we're going to move into the 6-month sort of scale program. This is where we are solving some of the next level challenges, and we're building all the systems. Planning is really important. Hiring, because you're going to need staff. The problem our seed program and growth programs create as you move this way is it becomes painful. We just had Brandon, one of our clients, on our call. What was it, yesterday? And he said that he's using a strategy I call metering, but he's having to limit the amount of business that comes on right now because it's too painful growing his business. So we have to focus on the back end of the business now to make it scalable, because he's adding, easily about 10 doors a month. And for his small business, that's painful. And so in the beginning, he wanted more leads and wanted growth. Now I want all of you to experience that problem. That's the goal of the Rapid Revamp, is to create that problem for you. So we get into next will be this scale program. So we're going to focus on all the systems, planning, people, like your team, process, all the stuff that companies typically holds them back at the 200 to 400 door range, where they really get stuck and they can't break past that second sand trap that I call it. So then we'll focus on that next. And then we'll get into, after that, we'll get into the mastermind portion, right? And so this is the built to sell program. So those that join the Rapid Revamp program, they are choosing into this entire program, and where we're going to build your business over the next 3 to 5 years so that you have the ultimate business and for scalable growth. So let me tell you more details about the 90-day Rapid Revamp. So who here would like to hear about like what we're going to do in that program? Give me a comment if you're interested. So we're going to go into this. Me. Okay, cool. All right. Randy's interested. Okay, cool. All right. So, so let's talk about this. So, we actually just did, this program starts in October. Just to let those of you know, our next class, we already have started a class. So those of you on this call, you're too late for our current class. Probably, yeah, you're too late for a current class. We've got over 50 businesses going through it, which is way more than I had expected. We're only going to be taking on 30. It's going to be limited, and we're starting the next class in October. We do have some benefits and some cool things, and you can be part of the mastermind at no additional cost, for free, leading up to that event if you pay to be part of this program. And it's not cheap, but it's really cool. And you'll get some added free value leading up to that event. And it kicks off with an in-person event on week 2. But what we're going to be focused on, the first thing we're going to do is prioritize. So we're going to focus on priorities in your business. This is the biggest leak in property management businesses. And I'll tell you what that is. It's phone calls. So I'll give you an example. Jade, one of our clients, my operational coach and fiance, who's the CEO of my company. And I did a training just on Tuesday for this program. And one of our clients had just gone through a similar training with my operator, Sarah, and she cut half of her staff. They had, I think, about 200 units or something. They cut their staff in half. They fired half of their staff after one phone call with Sarah. And then they also let go of 70 units that were eating up time and attention. And now they were struggling to be profitable. Now they're way more profitable. And they're like, you can see they're calmer and they're making a lot more money and they're a lot happier. So this we found this was revealed to us during our mastermind. We just saw this leak come up over and over and over again. This was exposed that clients were just doing a lot of ridiculous things in their business. And it's normal in the industry to do these things. But the biggest leak is phone calls. And so we teach in this first class, these are all weeks, by the way. The first week, we're teaching how to eliminate maybe 50% of your operational costs for some businesses and decrease this. This is more significant for larger companies. We're going to save you even more money. But if you're a solopreneur, you're probably building the business the wrong way from the beginning. It's not a business that is built to sell. It's not scalable. And so we're going to teach you how to make your business so that it is very efficient And you probably think your business is efficient. It's probably not as efficient as Sarah's business. So my operator runs her own business, even though she works full-time in my business. She has one part-time person, boots on the ground, runs it remotely. And that person, she's managed over 200 units, C-class properties with one part-time boots on the ground staff member. She has an assistant right now in Mexico, a VA also, but she can't find enough work for this VA to do, right? It's a challenge. So that's something to keep in mind, is that your business is probably not that efficient, right? And so that's what we're going to get on that. So let's go through these quickly. So next is purpose. This is when I ask clients, what's the biggest benefit or the coolest thing you learned going through our program or material? It's always this. It sounds like fluffy woo-woo bullshit, I know, but the purpose secrets training and the material in our DoorGrow Academy and the stuff that we go through here with clients is a game changer. Anna Marie is one client that came to me once, and she said, like, she really didn't like her property management business. She secretly told me she wanted to get out of it. And I realized she was just doing the wrong things. This is where you get in alignment with the 4 reasons and get clarity on what that unique version of the 4 reasons of fulfillment, freedom, contribution, and support looks like for you. It's different in my business, and I have those 4 reasons, but my business would be very different than yours because you're a different person. And this is where we help you figure that out. It's also my greatest secret for selling, is this golden bridge formula. Even if you're not good at sales, this will help increase your close rate significantly and build more trust, authentically relating what your purpose is, what your why is, what your real motivation is, because otherwise the default motivation they assume when you're trying to sell is that you just want their money and that you are willing to do it as unethically as possible to get that money. That's the default. You then have to build trust to overcome that, or they won't become a client. And the golden bridge is the fastest way I know to do this. It's the most authentic way to sell. So yeah. And then Anna Marie, she turned her business into one that she loved. And then she decided she wanted to be grandma and like retire. And she sold her business for a nice exit. And but she kept her business for several years and went through our programs and stuff, even though she was wanting out of it because it was uncomfortable and painful and she didn't enjoy it secretly, right? There's a great podcast episode with Anna Marie Sunday if you want to listen to that on the DoorGrow show. You can just look that up, DoorGrow show, one word, and look on YouTube and you can listen to what she says. So the next is pricing. I've never seen a business come to me with an optimized or effective pricing. We're going to get into another secret drop tier, but 3-tier hybrid pricing. And Brandon, one of our clients, he's already increased his revenue in the short time he's been with us, 138%. And he's getting great results. He's able to close more deals at a higher price point more easily than his competition. So it's not a race to the bottom like you've been lied to or told, or you think. If you're getting warmer leads and you're capturing people early in the sales cycle, they're less price sensitive. And if you understand there's 3 types of buyers and all the psychology we'll get into on pricing, you're going to have optimized pricing by the end of that week. We give you pricing tables. We give you spreadsheets to do calculations, all of that. Then we're going to get into positioning. So we're going to get into branding, share with you branding secrets. John Westrom, he's actually in, I think, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Thomas. But when he came to me, he'd been in business for, I think, like 22 years, had about 220 doors or something like that. He added in just a few months, a lot of doors, and he's done a few deals. Cool. He's really, really funny guy. Super sarcastic. But anyway, his company was originally Westrom Group Real Estate, and we rebranded it to Westrom Group Property Management. And then we eventually launched a website. He went through our seed program. He's my first podcast episode, by the way. He's one of my first coaching clients. But then he went through our seed program. After we launched his website, within a month or 2 or 3, I can't remember, but he then had his biggest month in real estate ever by eliminating real estate from his branding and by focusing on growing his property management business. Real estate's a great back-end product. He doubled his real estate commissions and added a whole bunch of doors, and then got out of his business because he also did the purpose secret stuff and realized his purpose was relationships. And you can hear my podcast episode about that. Super cool. All right. Next is product, right? So we're going to talk about this cool strategy for collapsing time to get knowledge. So even if you're a startup, you're new, we're going to teach you how I got knowledge on an industry I didn't even work in, property management, how you can get knowledge, how I launch all of my products and services, all of my programs. The secret is product research interviews. And so I'm going to teach you how to use product research interviews to get clients. And it's a really cool strategy. So, one of my sales and marketing manager, when I described it to him, he was like, "That sounds like a Trojan horse strategy." Like, that sounds negative, but it's cool. I kind of like that, so I put it on here. But I usually call it the side door to sales and deals. It works great for startups that are in our program. It also works great for seasoned property managers. It's the secret sort of side door to getting people to talk to you that you can sell to without them really thinking that you're going to sell to them. And this is the first acquisition strategy that we're going to focus on in the program. So by week 5, you're already starting to focus on some acquisition strategies and hopefully have some of the most significantly shored up. Then we're going to with branding, we're the world's leading branding agency. We've rebranded hundreds of companies. We do logo design. It's all included as part of the program. So we'll design a logo for you, everything. So next is pitch. So we're going to teach you my secret 4-phase selling. We're going to teach you how to do the Golden Bridge formula effectively, which is the second phase. And the third phase, we're going to teach you how to pitch effectively, which is the 3 dominoes strategy and some of these other things, so that even if you're not good at sales, you can sell effectively and close more deals. We also have a training material called Sales Secrets in DoorGrow Academy, which gets into neuro-linguistic programming and language tactics and building out a really effective sales process. You'll be able to close more deals more easily. One of our clients, Peter, came to me and he thought he was good at sales, but he doubled his close rate on his stats in his sales CRM, especially in colder and lukewarm leads. He doubled his close rate just by focusing on this. John Westrom, just from my sales secrets training back in the day, without all this other cool stuff that we've added since Golden Bridge and everything else, he closed like, gosh, I think it was like 10 doors in like a week or something like this, in like 2 weeks or something. It was crazy. So just from that. So, and I've got lots of stories about that, but partners, let's get into partners. So this is the fastest strategy for adding doors. One of our clients out of Boston, John Babiarch, he added 310 doors in a single year using this strategy. That would be impossible no matter how much money he gave me to get him leads. No matter how much, he even tried SEO during it and got nothing and said that was a dumb idea and went back to what was working, doing the strategy. This takes some time, but it takes less time per acquisition than it does for cold lead marketing. He added 310 doors in a year. I mean, it was crazy. And it was using this strategy. And he did this from only 5 or 6 referral partners. Some of you have tried to get people to give you referrals. You may get some occasionally. This is outbound partner prospecting. It's a super effective strategy. I don't know of anybody that's really doing this as well as we are helping clients do this. You've probably tried to get referrals in the past. Those don't work. What we do is even more effective than that. And it's introductions strategy, to just drop a little clue. So this is really effective. Fastest strategy I know of to grow a property management business. So we're going to stack that and add that because that's going to help give you access to people that have access to the investors, which you would do on this strategy. So it's going to make this, it's going to stack and make it even more effective. So that's our second acquisition strategy that we're going to get into. And during this, there's another strategy I call the neighbor strategy that also is giving our clients money every month. So that's another acquisition strategy. So that's 3 strategies. Next, we're going to get into power. So we find that there's a lot of clients that they can't see it, but they have bad breath, metaphorically speaking. They don't have the right appearance or the right presence or the right confidence. They don't feel confident doing sales, these sort of things. We're going to focus on personal power and that personal edge so that you can be more confident, because safety and certainty, in order to close deals, they're looking for safety and certainty. You have to create that, which means you have to be an example of that. You need to be that attractive person at the bar. You need to be that person that that business that's the sexy guy or girl at the bar that doesn't get with everybody. And so we're going to teach you how you are the prize, not your prospect. And so we're going to get into strategies for more effective power. And this makes your day-to-day easier, makes you have be more present, and which makes you more effective in personal life and everywhere else in your relationships. So we'll get into those strategies. Next, we're going to focus on presence. This is going to be the website. So you'll be able to start on your website project earlier, but in order to get the website done, you have to have your pricing table done, you have to have your branding done, and you have to have all your website content gathered. On this call, we're going to go over in detail things related to the website for those that are kind of stragglers that haven't gotten ahead, but you'll be able to get ahead and get the website project so that we're not doing 30 website projects at the same time is the goal for my team. So you'll be able to, if you're keeping up with your weekly commitments for each week, hitting your objectives, and you want to go a little faster, which most do, you'll be able to work through the branding and the pricing and the website presence stuff. But this will be the call where we dedicate to going over this, especially for the stragglers that haven't gotten their website project, all the website content you need to gather for us so that we can build the website. We will write the content for you, but we need things like photos and trust symbols and social proof and lead capture and all the things that increase conversion rates on a website. If you think your website's amazing right now, you can go to, you want to see the leaks, you can go to doorgrow.com/quiz and take our website quiz and grade your website and see how leaky it is. If you get a score below 60, 70%, like a C or a D, maybe even get it below 50 and get an F, like your website's probably costing you maybe half the amount of deals and leads you could be getting right now. And we see brand new websites from our competitors with bad scores. So that like F grade scores sometimes. So I recommend you take that website quiz if you're skeptical and want to see the leaks somewhat in your website. So, all right, next is, Amy. Amy, she came to us. I think she's in the Texas market too. Amy Carnes, but she came to us. She had moved to a new city. She was starting basically from scratch. She had really struggled. And we have a great testimonial of her on our YouTube channel. She was able to add 114 doors and get to that level in just 18 months. And she didn't even do all this cool stuff that you're seeing here. We just did some of the major leaks like branding and website and stuff like that. All right. So perception. So online reviews, we have a warm outreach strategy that's super effective. It's detailed in our our reputation secrets training. Will and Robin came to me. They lost a ton of doors. They were down to like 50, 60 units, I think at the time. And within a year or two, they were at like over 200 doors. They have a great testimonial of them also if you want to check out our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/DoorGrow. Under the videos, but we have Will, Alan, and Robin Reed. We helped them. They're out of California. Will came up to me I was speaking at a NARPM event there, and Will came up to me. He's like so excited to meet me in person, and came up and like he gave me a hug and he says, "Thanks, man. You changed my life." And it's moments like that that really make a difference for me. Like, I love that. John Westrom's wife came up to me at a NARPM broker owner conference. I think it was in Vegas. And she's like, "Hey, can my wife meet you? She really wants to meet you." A tiny little blonde lady. And she came up to me and gave me a hug and said, whispered in my ear and said, "Thank you. You made my husband a better man." And that's everything for me. That's why I do what I do. That's my why, is to get that, transform property management businesses as our why at DoorGrow. We love seeing these results. We only win if you win. That's the only way you stay in our programs, right? So we love this. I love all these stories we get together. So prospecting, this is a group strategy. It allows you to do high leverage activities that create one-to-many sales situations that lead to more one-on-one situations with investors, so you can close more deals. Sterling is a great example of this. He came to me stuck at 50 or 60 doors. He had spent 30 grand on a branding agency to come up with his brand name. We still helped him do a little cleanup on that, and then we redid his website. But then I taught him a group authority strategy. he found a group, downloaded one of our presentations, did this in that first presentation, landed him 20 new doors from just 4 or 5 investors, right? And he was able to do that consistently month after month. So in 6 months, he went from 60 to 300 doors. He eventually hit like 600 doors. And then I guess he fired a whole bunch because he got pickier. But I think he's probably floating around 400 or 500 units now. I don't know. But he certainly probably could get a 7-figure exit, I would imagine. At that price point with that many doors. I don't know. But so Sterling loves me, got a great result. And so we've gotten more effective at this strategy over the years. And so this is a really great acquisition strategy as well. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Another acquisition strategy, and online reviews. Is another strategy. Will Allen and Robin Reed got most of their business just from the online reviews. They were like, that's your Gather Kudos system and your reputation secrets, how to do that. That's how we're getting all our business. That's a great way to create warm leads, is online reviews. So there's 5 acquisition strategies, and none of these really cost money, and they take less time, right? So really exciting. And I guarantee if you've tried any of these, you are not doing some things right. And that stuff is revealed in our secrets training. So we've got reputation secrets, referral secrets, prospecting secrets, and I don't know if I've mentioned all of them. But anyway, we've got trainings for each of these. The next is then we're basically almost at the end of this 90-day roadmap. So then we're going to go into planning out the next 6 months that you're going to continue and default into automatically, continuing in our as part of this sort of mastermind. And so you'll then move into our 6-month scale program. And we'll then be mapping out like the 6-month roadmap, planning out the future, and then we're going to get into celebrating the wins and have a nice call where everybody's celebrating together. And then at our next 90-day, when our next 90-day program, which basically is week 15, if we were doing weeks here, because it's the second week of the next program, we're going to have a in-person meeting, in-person meetup, and a live in-person meeting. And we're going to do graduation and certificate, and these are going to be these are going to be businesses that are built to sell, but they're also built to grow and to acquire new doors. So this is the ultimate program I could come up with to create a business that is optimized for fast growth. These are the best acquisition strategies. These are the biggest leaks that exist in the pipeline. There are a lot of other leaks. We're going to tackle next levels of these leaks in the 6-month program and get into that. Here's a quick sneak preview. There's no particular order necessarily. Well, there may be an order, but this is kind of the 6-month portion that we'll get into. And these are the 6 major systems. There's a few, well, there's probably more than 6, but these are the major systems that you need to dial in order to have a high growth business. And I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail about this, but you may have heard of things like EOS. We have better things like DoorGrow OS. And we've had people come from the EOS crowd that know that this is better and had a better experience. We've got AI platform for hiring that's been proven and vetted, that makes sure that you're going to be hiring the right people. We've got some cool shit in this back end program in this 6 months. So you'll continue on into that program unless you choose out. You automatically continue on to this. So you're probably wondering what does this program cost? So I can get into the cost and that sort of thing. So I'll get into some of those details, but don't delay. Our current class is already just too full. It's like sold out at over 50 spots. I only wanted about 30. We're limiting it to 30 for our next class, which starts in October. And if you get into it, we can get you started on some of the material early if you'd like to get branding and website and some of the stuff going at no additional charge. And you can attend the Q&A calls and you'll learn cool stuff. but you'll start the next class in our next cycle. And it starts October 11th, which is the second Tuesday of the month, because we find rent week is a terrible week to start property managers on any program. So we're not going to do the first week. And then the second week is when we'll start on Tuesday, because also Mondays are a terrible day for property managers. So we're not starting it on Mondays. So these calls will be on Tuesdays at 11 Central, which is noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, 10 Mountain. We do these classes. They're 90-minute classes, and you're going to move through a class of about 30 people. It will sell out. We've been closing about 12 on average a month, sometimes 15 a month in our mastermind or previous programs. So we're expecting that we're just going to, like, at the very least do 10 a month and limit it to 30 for the whole class. Our goal is to sell it out, fill it up, and have a class of 30, which is manageable for my client success manager and for my operator and for my team, and to take through and for our fulfillment team that's going to be doing logos and websites and all of this for you. It will sell out. And so our first 10 spots, we're going to give you free tickets, because this is brand new. Like, we just closed the door on the previous class. Our first 10 spots will get free tickets to our DoorGrow live event. It's going to be in Austin. It's August 19th through 20th. So if you want to be at that, you'll get to see some of the people that are moving through our programs, talk to them, get connected with other property managers. You're going to get a lot of great ideas. We have some really cool speakers lined up and you can check out the details for that at, I'll put a link here, but it's just doorgrowlive.com. You can go to doorgrowlive.com and you can register for that event if you just want to pay to be there. And the tickets, the full price tickets are $997 for that event. There are discounts leading up to it, and it keeps increasing as it gets close to the event. We have already filled up our group rate with the hotel. We're seeing if they can extend and do that, but you're at the hotel that we have that has a few more rooms left, and they have a 50% discount. The rooms are normally like $500. It's at the JW Marriott. It's right in the coolest downtown area of Austin, and the rooms are half off. They're like 200 something bucks. And so we've got a nice group rate. So I recommend you get those booked, at least get your hotel and stuff booked early, and you can get tickets and whatever. So, and you also get some free coaching on our Q&A calls, and maybe access to some of the material in preparation, getting some free additional value leading up to the start date of October 11th. So don't delay. So let's talk about the investment. So similar to our old 6K, our 6-month program for the 90-day rapid revamp is $10K. So now, if that's too much money for you, we had a lot of clients in the past just pay that up front. So in the past, so I'm sure some will still do that. So it's a little bit less if you do that, but otherwise it's $6,500 for the first month, and then it's $2K a month thereafter. So the total will be, $500 more. So slight little difference, but if that's more efficient, it's kind of, self-financing or whatever, you can pay it that way. And then, just to be transparent, like after that, it's $2K a month. $2K a month into the 6-month program. And so as signing up for this program, there is an agreement in place that you will continue on into the 6-month and continue on into the 1 year, with some exceptions. So I'll share with you some guarantees, because we're so confident that you're going to get results if you're the right type of client. And then I'll share with you the rules so that we can make sure that you're the right type of client. So this is our layered guarantee stack. So these are 4 layers of guarantee that we have. So we're going to offer, for this first round, we're going to test this out and do a 30-day money back guarantee. This is after you start into the program, after you start the class. So if you sign up and you go through the first 4 weeks, right? And just to be clear, right, the first 4 weeks, we're getting into you like optimizing your time, which can cut your operational costs significantly. We're getting into your purpose secrets, greatest secret for creating the right culture and getting the right team members and closing more deals more easily. creating more trust, pricing, optimizing your pricing. That just increasing your pricing on your existing clients could alone pay for the program alone for some clients that have enough doors, and certainly make you more money and make things easier moving forward. And then you're going to start getting, and we're going to get your branding defined and start on your logo project by the end of it. So that's just in the first month. So if you don't feel like you're getting enough value and you're like, hey, this is not for me, cool. We're going to offer for right now, we're going to try this out and offer a 30-day money back guarantee. I think most people are ethical and they're not just going to steal that stuff and do it. My operator doesn't like it because she's a skeptical, personality type. And she's like, I don't want to do that. And I said, let's just try it out. Companies do this for a reason. So we're going to lower your risk to come in, experience things. So 30-day money back guarantee. After that, for the 90-day program, if you don't add 20 new doors in your first 90 days, our other guarantee is we will continue to coach you for free until you do. So in moving into this back-end program where we've got, multiple months, we will continue to coach you for free. And hopefully it's only 1 month if for some reason you're really struggling. This is usually people that are really bad at sales or really lacking the power piece that we're going to get into typically, or they've never done much sales in their life. It might take somebody a little bit longer. We'll continue to coach you for free until you add 20 new doors. And if your pricing is effective and you're getting lease up fees and you're getting really good pricing from us, and we go through that, you will, our internal goal is that we help you add $4,000 a month extra so that the program is paying for itself. This program, good programs and good marketing and good anything should give you a return on your investment. So our goal is to make sure you're making, and I have done spreadsheets and math, and I'll show you how we can help you make $4,000 extra in your business so that you feel like you can justify spending $2,000 a month moving into our additional programs afterwards. And we just continue to blow things up from there, right? And you just continue to grow and explode. So your business, this should not be an expense. This should be a return on your investment, right? So that's our secret 4K goal that we call it. Then there's also going to be for a 90-day rapid revamp. Oops, I'm trying to highlight here. For the 90-day rapid revamp, our other guarantee is at the end of the first 90 days, we have a love it or leave it guarantee. So if you love it, you can continue on into the scale program, but we'll let you opt out. We will let you get out of the contract. We'll let you you'll still have, you should have your branding, your pricing, your website, all this stuff done. And if you're like, hey, that's enough. I don't want to continue to scale my business. I don't want help with all the next level problems. I don't want help with hiring. I don't want help with systems. I don't want help with all this other stuff. And I don't want to continue to hang out and join class, get into small groups and do the cool stuff that we're doing in the back end that only the back end people get access to. It's totally cool. You can opt out at that point. Otherwise, you'll continue on, and we're hoping that everybody wants to continue on with us and continue to go to our live events and continue to do the cool stuff that we're doing in this program. Because we're doing a live event every quarter, and we're continuing to do the weekly calls and all this really cool stuff. So again, another inflection point at the 6th month, we have another love it or leave it. So once you get to, I'll go back to this here. So once you get to here, there's another inflection point here and here. So there's another inflection point. You either love it or you can get out, right? You can leave it. Otherwise, you will continue into a 1-year agreement. And this is all automatic as part of our agreement. You're agreeing to go through this program. So there are those inflection points. You can say, you know what? I've gotten all those cool systems dialed in. My business is scalable. I've built the ultimate scalable business. I no longer want to hang out with all these cool people and go to all the in-person events and have all these friends and continue to learn and continue to get coached and get one-on-one coaching and all these things that are coming in, in the back end. You can get out, right? And so there's that guarantee that you can love it or leave it. So this hopefully decreases the risk, because I know it's a lot of money and I know it's scary to jump into a commitment. So hopefully this makes you feel safe, because I'm confident that once you get in on the program, you will love it. We have great testimonials too. So if you're still feeling scared, Go check out our YouTube channel. My daughter, Maddie, creates all the videos. These are just videos we've captured during our actual calls of doing this stuff. Clients sharing wins, sharing results, sharing how much they love the program. You can go and check that out. Just go to DoorGrow, youtube.com/DoorGrow. Check out our video, go to our playlist and check out our playlist of case studies. And our sales team members will also give you access to that so you can watch it. Now, here are the rules. So if this sounds interesting, you go ahead and comment in the chat. I'm sure my sales team members would be curious to know, but go ahead and comment. Our current clients are so excited about this new program. They've had the mastermind. Some of them have done the seed program and they're so excited. We had half of people that have already gone through our previous programs. We have over half that are doing, it was 90 now, but we just added 10 new clients. We've got 100 in our program. Over 50 are in our first Rapid Revamp. We were just blown away that many would want in on a program, even though they've already done this stuff. I was hoping to just get like 30. This new offer is so sexy and we're really excited about it as a team. Sales team's excited about it. Our entire team know that this is going to help our clients faster and get better results. So everyone's super stoked about it. Here are the rules though. Here are the rules. So we're cool with that refund deal. Sarah made me add this in. Like she thought this would be a good idea. No refunds past 30 days, of course, right? We're not issuing refunds after 30 days. You have those first 30 days. And then if we give you access to the second month material, because you want that early, like the branding, the website stuff, whatever comes in the week 5 on. If we give you access to any of that stuff and you start going through that, because those things are so potent and powerful and we know they're going to make you money, we do not feel it would be fair to give you some sort of refund. I'm sure even if you do our payment plan, $6,500, you're going to get that level of value. For most, that's maybe, a handful of doors or maybe 10 doors or whatever to get that level of value and residual over the course of a year or 3 years or whatever you're going to keep on the clients that you get additionally out of going through this program, right? Second, membership, it auto renews after the 90 days for the 6 months, and then it auto renews for the year. We want people that we can help long-term. So we want people that are in this and serious about doing this, because it's frustrating for us to have people that come in, are dabblers, or they start something and then they're like, I'm going to go focus on my real estate business. We want people that are committed, that we can help you grow and scale. We really do want to transform the industry. And I really do want to build an army of property managers that are the best in the industry, the fastest growing companies that are destroying all the shitty ones. I believe a rising tide raises some ships. So they say it raises all ships, but not the ones that are sitting on bedrock that have holes in it. Those companies should be going out of business. And I want to raise the tide for property management to the point where the bad ones are filtered out. You probably would guarantee most property management companies suck. Most in your market probably suck. And we want to work with the best and help the best win and succeed. There's another super cool thing I didn't tell you guys. It wasn't in my slides. Another super cool thing, just because I just remembered, we have some special secret bonuses that we're adding into this program. We are also, those that are part of this program, we've already negotiated with 2 vendors. I'm meeting with multiple others. I have really great connections with CEOs because they've been on my podcast. I'm friends with them. We play a similar game in business, right? They're really cool guys and gals. So we've got some really cool discounts coming that are only for members of our mastermind. So if you leave the mastermind, they actually have agreed they will take those discounts away from you, but they will give you some special discounts just for people being in this program. And some of these are technologies that most people haven't even heard of yet. They're super cool. So I'm really excited. I'm not going to say anything about those yet, but we have at our conference, we're going to have some of them there. The one that we're doing in August, DoorGrow Live. But we are negotiating special bonuses and discounts on different property management tools and vendors. The best ones in the industry is our goal. I've known for years which one the best ones are. I've heard from hundreds of clients which they get the best feedback on. So just know we are negotiating the best discounts for our clients, because these companies are incentivized to give our clients discounts. They want to, because they know that our clients grow rapidly. And most of them make money on a per unit basis if you're working with them. They make more money the more business you have. And so they know if they get a client from us, it's a client they might not have gotten before because we're pushing them their way, and they're getting a special discount, which benefits our clients. And these clients are going to grow. So they're better than the normal clients that would be small or at that size, or even larger ones that they get, because they're not growing and scaling. Some of them are shrinking right now, right? Due to the sell-off that's happening in the marketplace, because the market's been hot. All right. Other thing is, other rule. If you leave our program, that's cool. Like, some people don't want to continue, or if you leave, you cannot rejoin for 2 years. We really don't, like I said, we only want to help those that are serious and are committed to get their business built to sell in 3 to 5 years, which means you may not want to sell it. Cool. We want to keep you forever as a client, and you keep your business forever, but we reserve the right to never work again with those also that ask for refunds. Sarah wanted me to add that in too. Like, those just aren't cool people if they're just stealing from us, right? Is the idea. So, and I doubt they would want to come back to us anyway. So, but yeah, if somebody leaves the program, sometimes we have people that, like, they're like, hey, I can't keep up. I've got all this other stuff I'm doing. Cool. But we don't want to deal with those type of people. So if they leave the program, we want to focus on people that are committed, that can stay moving forward aggressively and growing their business and really enjoy things. You can't rejoin for 2 years is a new rule. Property management must be your primary focus. I've talked about that already, but it needs to be your primary focus for at least the first 9 months of this program, which would be the rapid revamp and the scale portion where you're building out all the systems. And then you have a business that, if you want to just have your team members be part of it, we coach your BDMs, we coach your setters, we coach your operators. We can do all of that with your team, but we need you focused for the first 9 months, just like birthing a baby. Like, we want you focused on getting this business fully born and fully launched to be a beautiful, amazing business, right? Another quick rule: don't be cute. Our biggest frustration is clients are skeptical. They don't do what we say. And if you just follow our scripts, if you just do the things the way we tell them to do, this is all proven. All our case studies showcase this. This stuff works. This has been vetted by some of these things by hundreds of companies. Trust us and do what we say. Don't be cute. Just do what we tell you to do. And you have to keep your weekly commitments. If you're not keeping your weekly commitments, then really, it does, you got to keep your weekly commitments. We can't guarantee that you're going to have 20 new doors if you are just not doing the work. So that guarantee does not apply unless you're keeping your commitments, doing the actions. And if you do everything and it's still not working, it may just take you a little bit longer. I think that's really going to be rare, but we will support you and continue to coach you for free. So we will pause your billing. All right. So make sure that's everything. We squeezed it in 90 minutes. I know it was a lot. Kyle's going to be upset that it took so long. Those of you that hung out, I appreciate you hanging out this long. I know it's lengthy. I hope this investment was worth it for you. I know you didn't spend money on this call, but you did spend the other currencies of time, focus, attention, maybe some energy, right? I don't know if sitting was hard for you, but I appreciate that. I honor that. Book a call with our team. You can click the button below right here on the webinar to apply to work with us. It'll ask some qualifying questions based on some of the things you saw in this webinar. We just want to make sure we're getting the people that are right fit. Just like you, we don't recommend you take on every client. We don't take on every client. So fill out the application. And if after you fill out that application, if you are the right fit, it will allow you to schedule a call via Calendly. You can book a call through our scheduling tool with our team, and they can tell you all about greater detail about the program. Each of the different weeks that I've showcased in the program is its own sort of product. Each of them are really cool. And so they can go into greater detail with you. If that helps you feel safe, they can get you access to case studies. And you'll be meeting with our team, and they're really, really awesome. We have really awesome people. So, and with that, that's basically it. I don't know if I missed anything else. So for those that are just hanging out, I'll just throw out a couple of other ideas. So money renews, right? You spend money every single month. You're spending money in your business, and this money, you'll spend it but this money you're going to get a return, and money does renew. Like, you're going to have more money. Where did the thousands go that you've spent over the last several months? The other thing I want to point out is the default future versus the created future. So many of you have what you know is going to happen over the next year. And how do you know? It's happened over the last year and the year before and the year before that. That's your default future. Many of you, your default future isn't super sexy. It's not very attractive. Your default future for a lot of you is going to be the same level of results you got last year or the year before, which maybe your business is shrinking, or maybe your business is difficult, or you're struggling, or it's just not fun, or you're not enjoying it. And it's not worth it, right? The goal of a business is to have fulfillment and freedom, like joy and, feeling free, right? Otherwise, you might as well go get a job, right? So, that if you want a different future than your default future, work with me, meet with our team, and let's map out. Our sales team will help you map out a created future. This program hopefully helps you see there's a different future that's available to you if you're willing to trust us and work with us, right? We can help you create a different future, a creative future. So, cool. And if anybody else had any questions, throw them in the chat, and I can get to those, and then we'll just close this out. Is it Jimena? I don't know if I'm saying it right, or maybe it's Jimena, but I'm guessing it's Jimena. Do you work with software, or do you recommend any during the program? Cool. I do like to recommend softwares. You can check out my podcast episode. I had the ultimate software stack for property management business I just did recently, and I mentioned all of the coolest tools. Most of those are the ones I'm looking at getting bonuses on, secret tip, bonuses and discounts from. But I recommend that. But really, we're software agnostic. You can work with PropertyWare, Buildium, Rapfolio, or Rent Manager, Property Meld, Tenant Turner, Show Mojo, Rently, whatever, right? It's different tools, software. There's Z Inspector, Happy Inspector, blah, 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 blah. I could go on, right? So we're software agnostic. There's no particular software that you have to have in order to utilize our program. We will make recommendations. You'll hear people sharing their recommendations of the stuff that's working in the group. But definitely, we're going to definitely be helping you make sure that you optimize your business. And if you're at an early stage, we're going to help you avoid some serious, costly mistakes and pitfalls. So, yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely winners among all of those in each category. So yeah, this will be super helpful for you. And this is all stuff that every business should have done if they knew all of this stuff, what they were doing when they started their business. So this really also is kind of the ultimate startup program. But it also is really exciting for businesses that have been in business for a long time, even large companies. We've rebranded and done websites for 40-year-old companies. And so this gets you excited about your business again. It's like starting fresh. And starting is the fun part, right? It gets really hard though if you're not focused on the right things. And we're going to help you avoid some of that first sand trap of like 50, 60 units, really painful for a lot of solopreneurs. And then for people that have teams, usually 200 to 400 doors is the second sand trap, really painful stage. We're going to help you avoid those painful stages altogether, so you can just breeze past them. So, there'll be work involved, but it'll be a lot easier. So, all right, I'm going to go. If anybody else has any other questions, otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for this hour and a half, these 90 minutes. And this is about the same length as the calls that we do in the program. And we have Q&A and other stuff as part of that. So if you can tolerate this, you'll be probably a great fit for our program. And you're going to get some great results and have a lot of cool stuff to work on and be really excited about your business again. So we're excited to have you. And we appreciate any of our clients that were hanging on this. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being part of our program. We love you guys and gals, and we're super excited to see your success. And until next time, to our mutual growth. Bye, everybody.